Some of the information in this video is already out there. I do have some new information today that I'll share. But I want to do this video different from the other videos that are out there. I want to approach this by looking at how the FAA might investigate this incident. First, the player in our story. Trevor Jacob was on the USA Olympic team to Sochi, Russia in 2014 as a snowboarder. He has a YouTube channel devoted to his adventures where only a few of the videos are actually aviation related. It's adventure related. A search of the FAA Airman database shows a Trevor D. Jacob with a private pilot certificate and no other FAA certificates, but I don't know if that's the same Trevor. November 24th, 2021, Trevor Jacob was flying a Taylorcraft BL64 over the Los Padres Mountains north of the LA Basin. The engine stopped in flight, and Trevor egressed out of the airplane using his sport parachute to get down to Earth safely. He then hiked over to the crash site and pulled the cameras off the plane and eventually hiked out of the mountains, claiming poison oak, significant cuts and scratches from the brush, dehydration, and other stuff before being saved by passing farmers. In the title cards near the beginning of the video, he claims he immediately informed the FAA and the NTSB and that he wanted to get a message out so that other pilots would wear parachutes. And this past week, it was confirmed the FAA had indeed launched an investigation. Before we go into that, I want to talk about Mr. Jacobs' message about the importance of wearing a parachute for pilots. For those that don't know, most general aviation pilots do not wear parachutes. Now, when performing acrobatics, pilots will wear a parachute that is a little different than the sport parachute that jumpers wear. A pilot parachute has a round emergency chute that you can wear, and it's a little bit more comfortable than like the skydivers. The skydiver rig is bigger, has a second emergency chute as well. And pilots usually don't wear big altimeters that skydivers wear when doing jumps. Now, some planes are equipped with parachutes, most notably the Cirrus aircraft, but even so, the airplane has to be in a specific performance envelope to deploy with proper chance of a successful outcome. For the majority of pilots flying general aviation planes, wearing a skydiving parachute can be problematic. For instance, in my plane, a Cessna 210, it would take an incredible amount of strength to open the door and egress. Now, it's not impossible, depending on how slow I was going, but it would be difficult. And there are plenty of places to get hung up on exiting. And if you look at the data, it's extremely rare to die up at cruising altitude because of engine failure. At that point, your plane becomes a glider and can still be flown. What kills pilot in general aviation is when the plane falls out of the sky at a low altitude because of a stall before the pilot can recover